G'day viewers out there in YouTube land, I hope that you are well. Just wanted to come on briefly and share a recent experience with you, which I thought was worthy of sharing. So recently I had someone approach me. I was working behind my counter, and this person was interested in getting some accommodation, but they weren't able to pay for it. They didn't have a credit card. They had cash, but we were unable to accept cash because of our current policies. They wanted to do a bank transfer, but you can't do that on the spot. It's got to be run through our accounts department. So I wasn't able to accept their booking, and they were sort of a fairly hostile, argumentative person who kept asking the same question. They repeated themselves at least twice, and I had to repeat myself at least twice, explaining to them the policies, that I couldn't accept their booking and the reasons for it. And they started blaspheming, basically, and swearing. And I just said to them, can you please stop doing that? I'm a Christian, and I find that what you're saying is blasphemous, and it's offensive to me. Anyhow, so the person obviously had heard what I'd said, but they continued to repeat themselves, and they continued to utter blasphemies and offensive words. And they actually went outside the building a couple of times, because at one point I said, I've already explained the situation to you. I'm sorry I can't help you. It's unfortunate. Try somewhere else. Perhaps they have a different policy. And they were argumentative and blaspheming and stuff. And I said, at this point I'm going to have to ask you to leave. So they started to walk out, but then turned around and came back again, and were uttering more blasphemies and more abusive stuff. And then at one point they stopped, and almost as if they checked themselves, what they were doing, their own words, their own thoughts, and their own actions. And they confessed to me. The person said, and I'll quote them exactly what they said. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. They didn't say it twice. They said it once quite clearly. I don't know what I'm doing. And then walked out. And it reminded me of something that Jesus said in the Bible when he gave forgiveness to the people that were crucifying him on the cross. He uttered the same words in a prayer to God the Father in heaven. He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. It's a very famous quote out of the Bible, Jesus' words as he's being crucified. He says that he asks for his Father in heaven to forgive the people that are persecuting and crucifying him, because he said they don't know what they're doing. So this incident that I had was an exact confirmation, a direct confirmation of that biblical truth that was uttered by Jesus over 2,000 years ago on the cross in Jerusalem. That there are people in this world that are unfortunately, unwittingly allowing themselves to be influenced, controlled, or manipulated by the unseen powers and forces of evil, demonic forces, satanic forces. They themselves are even unaware of why they do things. Why do they utter these words? Why are they compelled to do these actions? Why are they swearing? Why are they getting angry and violent over things? What is motivating, forcing, or compelling them? They're at the point where they can acknowledge that there are forces beyond their own control in their life, and they seem to be puppeteered or victimized by it. Now it's curious to me that at some point a person who feels that, if you felt that in your life, that there seems to be forces, powers, influences in your life that are outside of your own control. You feel as though you're being influenced, manipulated, controlled, made or compelled to say or do things that you, when you check yourself, realise are not the right things to do, and don't really make any rational sense to you in your own rational thought processes, your own human thought processes. You think, okay, I just did something and said something then, I don't really know why I did that. It was an irrational thing to do, or it was a compulsion, and I don't know why I was compelled. So you need to check yourself at that point and say, okay, let's consider the possibility that God does exist, that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, that there is a person in control of this world that is known as Satan, the devil, or Lucifer, that he has minions of demons that are also influences of our thoughts and actions. There are powers and forces in this world that are invisible to us, but that are very real, and they are, as the Bible tells us, very powerful and very influential. So yes, they can influence us humans if we allow it. If we allow ourselves to be influenced, they will. They can and they do. So the only way you can arrest that control back to yourself is by praying to God, reading the Bible, accepting Christ into your life, and and in the words of the Bible, the truth shall set you free.